Hello and welcome to Jointly Speaking. I'm Barbara, your host for today, and I just want to thank you for coming on and listening. And I guess, first of all, the first thing I should really do is wish you all a happy new year. I hope you've had a wonderful new year, and I'm sure you've made plenty of promises to yourself of what you're going to do and what you're going to change for the next year. I think we all do that. Whether we plan to follow through or not, that's another story. But anyway, I do want to thank you for listening today. I do appreciate your being here. Today I was going to talk about different things, the bedroom mostly for most people in their home. And I'm going to talk about some exercising, and I want to talk about some solutions for exercising for children and adults. After all, children are sick sometimes and need help. They have exercise they have to do, something on that idea. And of course, adults, we always want to exercise, don't we? Right? You bet. But I think it's important that if you're in need, if you have an illness and you do need to exercise, that I hope you will listen and I hope you will at least try and do some of the exercises that we talk about today, because that's truly important. But first, what I'm going to do is talk about the bedroom. Now, for everybody who has a bedroom, there are plenty of things in that bedroom, believe me, that don't need to be there. And I won't even go into that part of it. But what I'd like to do is discuss with you a couple of things that maybe you have trouble doing. And the first place I always like to go into is the closet. The hanging rod is very high for me. I'm short. I'm not 10 foot, so I got to have it lowered. And that's something you'd want to think about. Go in, look at your closet, and lower the hanging rod if you can by at least maybe 12 inches, depending. Now, if you're doing it for children, you would lower it even lower. And what I would do with them is I would have them stand in the closet with their hand up that is comfortable to reach where they think the rod should go, and mark your wall and then place another rod there. You could probably leave the other rod up above for the children's room because they'll be growing, but it's worth a try. And it makes them more independent. It makes them feel better about themselves because they're doing something that they can do on their own. And you know how that is. Everybody wants to be able to handle. So anyway, the rod is the one place I would highly recommend that you'll look at and lower it to whatever you need, a comfortable level. Okay? Okay. In the bedrooms, I always recommend that people have a chair in the bedroom with arms on it. The arms support you when you're trying to dress yourself. And I prefer to dress myself in the chair, not on the edge of the bed, folks, because that's where you can take a slip and fall. If you're in the chair, you're more stable, you're more solid. You have the arms to hold on to if you need to, and it works. So always have an armchair in your room if you can. The other thing are the dresser drawers. Dresser drawers can be a real problem depending on how low your dresser is. Now, if you have a dresser that goes all the way to the floor, that may be a problem for you. But what you can do is open all the drawers, and if you get someone to help you with it, take the clothes out and rearrange them. Put everything that you need, that you use, like, I shouldn't say need, but everything you use on a daily basis, okay? And put that in the dresser drawers that are between, let's say, your chest and your hip line. That's about a good level to keep them at, if you have a chest that's like that. Some of the men's chest, one of the things that I've learned from different people, they use the man's chest of drawers because they're tall. And I think they are smart using them because you can reach probably almost every drawer except maybe the bottom one or maybe the bottom two, depending on the height of it and everything. But that is something you want to do. You want to change your clothing into drawers so that you can reach it every day without having to depend on someone else. It's wonderful having family, and they're willing to help you. But when they help you, you're not helping yourself. In other words, you're not stretching your arms, you're not using your legs, and you've got to use them every day if you can. It's so important. There's no way I can stress how important. So anyway, just make sure you sort the clothing and put it in the drawers that are between, like I said, your hip basically, maybe a little bit, just above the knee. Let's put it that way. Anything above your knee, any drawers above your knee up to your chest are probably a good level for you to reach, okay? Especially if you have trouble with your arms or with your legs bending, okay? So that's what I would do. I highly recommend that. And one other thing I do that's kind of probably, I've recommended, I should say, to other people is taking a full-length mirror, if you have one. If you don't, well, that's okay too. And putting it on your closet door so that you can see your whole body from head to toe. You know, especially for women, you want to look in the mirror and make sure you're gorgeous. But sometimes it means having to move, go out to another area, into even another room sometimes. It just depends. But if you can put the mirror on your closet door, that's fantastic. Or your bedroom door, depending on what you have in your home. Okay? And that way you can just close it and see yourself and know what you got on or off or whatever. Okay? I know that doesn't sound thrilling, but hey, it's an important piece. Now, the other thing, don't have any scatter rugs, please, in your home, anywhere in your home. They are dangerous for you. They truly, truly are. For your children as well as you. If your children have issues walking or anything, it's going to become a problem for them. They are better off not to have any lying around. So, take up all your scatter rugs and keep them aside. The other thing I would recommend in the bedroom is don't put a bedspread on. I know you've got to have a bedspread, but I'm telling you, if you have a bedspread that hangs to the floor, it is dangerous in the sense, you know how you're in your bedroom, you're rushing around, and you rush around the bed, and sometimes you catch the bedspread on your foot? Well, that's the problem. It could trip you. You could fall. It could slip. There are so many ways you could get hurt, I can't even begin to count them. So if you don't need to have a bedspread on, don't put it on. I don't like bedspreads on my house. I just don't care for them. To me, they're a nuisance. One more thing I have to do and deal with, so I don't do it. And nobody goes in my bedroom. That's the other thing. How many people that come to your home walk in your bedroom to check? Probably nobody. So you don't need the bedspread. If it's a safety factor, get rid of it ASAP. I can't stress it enough. I really can't. They are crucial. And there's one other thing I've been talking about lately with some friends of mine. They were having difficulties. What they didn't like was, oh, excuse me, please. When they go into their bedroom at night, they have to shut the light off where it's on the dresser and then go to the bed, and they said it's dark and they get nervous. So I have made a couple of suggestions in that area. First of all, put a night light in your bedroom. You can put it anywhere, behind your dresser, in front of your dresser, wherever you want, a night light. They don't really bother you at night, and it gives you a little bit of light so that when you turn your bedroom light off, you probably would be able to see. However, let me tell you this. When you turn the light off, close your eyes and count to 10. And then open your eyes, and your eyes will adjust to the darkness. Okay? Okay, that's one way. That's the nightlight. The other thing that I have suggested to people, and they seem to prefer this, is if you have a nightstand next to your bed, hopefully, wherever the lamps are, get what they call a remote light closer. In other words, what it does, it's a remote control, and it will turn your lights on and off in the bedroom. All you do is hook one piece up to your lamp, plug it in the wall, and then you have the other piece, and keep that near your bed at night or in your bed, under your pillow. Don't, even if you don't have a nightstand next to your bed, don't worry about it. You can put it next to your bed, under your pillow, or whatever. It just depends if, what type of arrangements you have. But I prefer that. I happen to like the remote control, and I don't use it for any specific reason other than I like the fact that I can get into my bed and then turn the light off, and I can see what I'm doing. So it's something you want to consider. I highly recommend it. They work very well, and they last forever, let me tell you. And they'll make your life a lot easier at nighttime. You know how it is when you go to bed at night, it gets dark, you turn the light off, you think you can see where you're going. Well, sometimes you don't. You bump into things. So I highly recommend that you get the light switch. That you can, it's a remote, it's very small, and you just sit on the edge of your bed if you want, or get under the covers, whichever way you prefer, and switch it, and your lights are off, and you're in bed. No problem. No falling, no nothing. And I keep mine under my pillow. You can too. If you have to get up in the middle of the night, and we all do that occasionally, I'm sure everybody does, then when you have to get up in the middle of the night, get that light switch and turn your light on so you can see where you're going. Okay? Now, the other thing that I do, I not only have it for the light switches, but I have night lights in every room in the house. I prefer that. Maybe you people don't, I don't know. But I like the idea of having a light on in my kitchen, in my living room, and in my bathroom. I find that when I get up, I don't have to worry about not being able to see where I'm going. And you still have the night light in your bedroom, too, so that will be on also. It's up to you to do whichever you are the most comfortable, whichever you feel the safest with. I think that's the best way to put it. You have to feel safe when you're doing it. And it's up to you to decide. So think about the little remote control for your light in your bedroom and a night light. And I think you'll find they work very well. And you get, the funny thing is you get so used to them that when you go to somebody's house to visit and stay overnight, you miss your remote control. So just get used to that. You can't do much about that. But it does work, ladies and gentlemen. I can't tell you how long I've had the little remote, probably for years now. I just prefer it. Just before I get out of bed, I get light and I can see where I'm going. And that's what you want. That's what you want, so that you're safe when you get up at night and have to, check the house out or use the bathroom, whatever the case may be. So I hope you will consider that and think about doing it. And the nice thing about it, it's not very expensive. I mean, the little remote controls are probably $5 or $10 the most. Well, the $10 would be if you have more than one lamp you're shutting off, and you can do that. You can also do that, and that's another point. If you have your living room lights on when you go to bed at night, hook them up to the remote and bring the remote into your bedroom. And then when you get in the bedroom, then you can turn the light off. Or turn your bedroom light on before you get into it. The biggest problem I find is you have to decide where you want the remote control to be. In other words, do you want it in the living room to turn your bedroom light on? And then do you want one in your living room, in your bedroom to turn your living room light on? Or do you want to have them in both places? That's something that I can't decide for you. That's something you have to work with on your own and kind of play around with. It's easy. It's a simple thing. It doesn't take a lot of work. You know, within 5 minutes you're hooked up. So don't consider it, a bother. Just work on it as for something good to do. And I think you'll be very happy with that when you do. It's amazing. And just having lighting on, like I said, makes it so much easier when you're walking through your home. You don't trip, you don't fall on anything that you may have forgotten to put away, or somebody else left a chair in the way and you bump into it. All that can be prevented if you have a night light on, or you leave your regular lights on and turn them off when you're in the other room, when you leave the room. So there is a lot of ways you could do this and keep yourself safe. An awful lot of accidents happen at home, folks. I know you know that. And I hear about them all the time. And it's sad. It really is. And in a lot of cases, it could have been prevented with just thinking about how to do something. And I know that probably sounds a little odd, but it's true. And that's probably one of the best ways that you can learn to do something is by getting that little night light, remote light for your bedroom, and taking it with you and shutting the light off once you're in the bed, or at least sitting on the bed. You will be amazed at how much better you're going to feel. You're not going to be worried about bumping into something or it's too dark and you can't see where you're going. I mean, we all go through that. I think everybody does. And I think you'll find that'll work very well for you. And I hope you do. So anyway, that's kind of a little uptake on the bedroom. There are a lot of things you can do that are different. I mean, if you want, you could have an electric bed there to help you up and down, depending on what you need. I don't use, you don't have to use, I'm sorry, not me, but you don't have to use a hospital bed. I've heard that Craftmatic is the one that I know of from a friend, that a Craftmatic has an electric bed, and it'll get your head up or your foot up, depending, and you can use that. So that's the other thing that I would suggest. And there's one more thing I would like to suggest to everybody. For those people who have an illness, or maybe a cold, especially in the winter months. You're always cold when you get, going to bed or whatever. They have an electric mattress pad. Now, I don't know how much they are. I know the twin one was $53 for a friend of mine. She got it, and she loves it. She swears by it. And it's a mattress pad. It goes under your bed sheets. So you put it under your bed sheet, and then put your sheet on, and then you plug it in when you're ready. And it has, most of them have a switch, from what I've been told, that'll go from 0 to 10. So you can regulate the heat of it however you want. And they turn it on when they get into bed, and my friends swear by this. They say it's the best thing they ever invented. It keeps them relaxed. It's not hot. It's just warm, according to them. And it works. They love it. So I'd highly recommend, especially if you live up in the cold weather. You know how that is these days. That would be a good thing to look into. And I'm sure they go twin, double bed, probably king size too. I tell you the truth, I haven't looked for one, so I can't really say, but that's what I've heard. And I think you would like it. And I think it's well worth it. According to my friend, she's had hers for at least 4 years now, and it's still working fine. So that's something, however much she paid for it was well worth it. If 4 years later, it's still working. And I think that's the key. That makes everything perfect. It makes life a lot easier on that. So just so you know, I just thought I'd mention that mattress pad. I think that's something new. I don't think they've been around too long that I know of anyway. And they work wonders. So anyway, a thought. I hope you're listening to it, and I hope you're thinking about it. So I'm going to just give you a short break for a second here. What I'm going to do, I just want to let you know, if ever you have a question or you think I said something wrong, or if you want to learn more about a topic, you can email me, and I will respond and try to answer your email as well as get a show on about what you're referring to. And my email is very simple. It's Jointly Speaking Podcast. So you're saying the name of the show plus the word podcast, and that's Jointly Speaking Pod, PODCAST, at gmail.com. Okay? I'll say it one more time. Jointly Speaking Podcast at gmail.com. I would love to hear from you. I look forward to it. Anything you got to say, I'm willing to listen to and see what we can do. And of course, as we go along on the show, just so that you know, this is really my first show I've really got into anything about joints because the first 3 podcasts I was scared to death. They were brand new, something I'd never done. I've done radio for 11 years, but a podcast made me a little nervous. And I'm comfortable now. I feel good about it. We had a wonderful Christmas show last month with some residents of Whitney Place and assisted living. They are very nice in that they allow me to come here every month and and record the show from here. And I love it. I have a private room. I sit here and I do the show and get it done. And all I do is thank Whitney Place. So, again, thank you very much. So anyway, just so that you know, those are some of the things, that I would love to hear from you. As I said, please don't hesitate to email me. I have no problem in getting emails and answering them. And of course, you get to realize the only thing that I can tell you that might be different is that where this goes worldwide, YouTube, I may not be awake when you send it to me, so bear with me on the time change. That might be interesting. I can't wait to find out how that's going to work. I can't imagine having someone writing to me when I'm sound asleep, but I guess that's going to happen. So anyway, so that's something I want you to think about. Now, it's New Year's. Isn't that wonderful? It's the time to look at what's new, what we're going to change, what we're going to make better, and how we can help others. I really believe that with my whole heart. And I think it's wonderful. But also, resolutions mean taking care of yourself. And I thought I would just talk about, I always do an exercise program with you at the end of the program. But today I wanted to talk about some things that I think children and adults need to be aware of. And I'll start with the children today, just to make it easier. Okay? Now, let's say you have kids, well, because you have kids, but assuming that maybe one of them may be disabled or is physically challenged. Maybe they can't walk like they should, or their arms or something. But one thing I found interesting about New Year's, and I had read this, and I thought it was an excellent thing to write. For kids, it said eat less snacks. And at first I thought, well, gee, children live on snacks. That's what they, go on. But I got the point when I realized what they want you to do is to eat more fruit and veggies with the children. And ladies and gentlemen, that makes so much sense, I can't even begin to tell you. So you want them to eat less snacks, eat more fruit and veggies, an apple, an orange, bananas, whatever. And I think that's wonderful. And veggies, you chew the carrots, cucumbers, there's all kinds of things out there. And I thought that was very interesting. The other thing that they suggested is drinking more water, which is true. I don't think we drink water like we used to. I can remember, it seems to me, at least for me anyway, I drank a heck of a lot of water when I was younger compared to what I do today. I mean, if I get a glass full of water today, I think I'm doing terrific. So they need to drink more water. So take the soda away and make them drink more water. It might help. Soda, and maybe instead of orange juice, give them a glass of water or cranberry juice, whatever you give them in the morning or afternoon. Try changing that. And then, of course, for the children who are having an issue walking or have a disability, whatever, you need them to exercise at least a half an hour a day. And that's not long. And one thing I highly recommend, you participate with them and you make it fun. Make it interesting. Have them, if they're learning to walk, maybe have them dress up in a costume or something and make it fun that way. I think kids would like that. Or maybe after they do it, they could blow bubbles out of a thing, I don't know. But find something to do with the children when they're exercising. They will do the exercises better. They won't mind doing them because they're having fun. That's the whole key. They've got to have fun while they're doing it. So, maybe you could be walking and every few steps stop and toss the ball to each other. Something like that. Anything. Think of something that you can do with them when you're walking with the kids and exercising with them, whether it be in the house, outdoors, whatever. It doesn't really matter where you do the exercise. But try doing it for a half an hour a day. Now, of course, if the child is on a doctor's requirements, I wouldn't want you to alleviate that. So I'd expect you to do whatever you can. But make those exercises fun. Find something that's fun when they're doing it or during it. Maybe tossing a ball back and forth, anything. So think about that. And even maybe using dice and seeing who gets the highest count. Throwing the dice up. You'd have to pick them up, but that's okay. You could use the exercise. You wouldn't mind. But anyway, that's the thought for the kids. And I truly believe in that, and I think it's truly well worth taking the time and doing it with them and making it more fun. There are plenty of ways you can have fun doing a walk or an exercise. Yeah, depending on if you're using your arms, maybe you can find something they can do with their feet. Play, kick a ball. They'd have to stand still, but there could be a way. You'd have to figure it out because it's in your home, and you have the age of your children, and you know what they have for toys. So, figure out something. If you don't, why not call a physical therapy facility that works with children and ask them if they have any suggestions as to how you can entertain the children while they're doing the exercises so they don't get bored. Okay? Okay. So that's your New Year's resolution. How's that one? I think it's pretty good. Anyway, the next one would be adults. Now, adults are different. Adults know what's wrong, hopefully, and where they need help. And that's what exercising is about. And our New Year's resolution should be for them to find out what exercise is right for them. What do they need? Has it something to do with their arms? Maybe their fingers. Maybe their legs. And even their back. And that's something you want to work with them. Excuse me. You want exercises that will help with their heart, their lungs, and circulation. Because if you have good circulation, then you're in good condition. Okay? And some of the things that you can do, and these are simple. Some of those exercises are just walking. Don't go out and jog. Just walk down the street or back or however far you want. And swimming. Get in a pool, a heated pool. Go to the YMCA. Do some swimming. And this one I love. How about going dancing? Now that would be a goodie. And if you don't want to go out and dance, play some music on your home radio and dance in your kitchen. There's nothing wrong with that. In fact, I think that might be more fun. And the other one is to maybe go out and plant things in your garden, okay? Little things. You don't have to go overboard, but just start a small garden for yourself, and you have to go and take care of it every day. That's if you can reach it. And if you can't, what you could do is put it on a table and put your boxes, make them little boxes, put the boxes on the table, fill them with the dirt and your planter, and start doing it that way. So there are ways to do things. Okay? So keep those things in mind. I know that's a lot to talk about, but it's not hard, but I like the swimming. I think the swimming would be great, along with the dancing. Anyway, and one of the things that we all have a problem with, and I think just about everybody does, if they're not exercising enough and not doing things, is balance. I think balance is one thing we all have a problem. You turn quickly, you lose your balance. You bend over too fast and come back up, you went too fast, you're dizzy. And you've lost your balance again. All of those things are really and truly important. And so you want to do something to help your balance. Now, for some of you, this may make you a little nervous, but I have a suggestion. Okay? What I want you to do is stand up and put a chair in front of you. Make sure the chair is solid, it doesn't have wheels, and it won't roll, okay? And hang on to the back of it. Just gently. I mean, don't hold on to life and death, okay? You don't need to. And then what I want you to do is I want you to lift one of your foot. Lift it up and hold it for a few seconds, maybe 3. Then put it down and then lift your left foot up and hold it for 3 seconds. And then put it down. And when you're doing that, it will help you. So do it again. You want to, like I said, put your right foot down. Lift your right foot. I'm sorry, my apology. Your right foot up. You're standing on your left. Your left foot should be flat. Okay? And then put your right foot down and lift your left foot up. Okay. And one of the things that a lot of people don't do today that they really probably should be doing, and I think when you grew up you were taught to do this. At least some of us were. When you start to walk, you walk heel to toe. Heel to toe. And that's what you should be doing. When you take a walk heel to toe on each foot. Just take your time. At first you're going to have to do it slow and get used to the idea if you're not doing it already. So it's going to take a little bit of time, but just go heel, toe, and heel, toe. And do that when you're walking. It will help your balance. It will keep you better balanced. Okay? Okay. I hope you will do that because it's really and truly, it's important, folks. It's for you. It's your lifestyle. But if you want to have a lifestyle, you got to be healthy, right? So let's all work on being healthy this year. I'm all for it. For 2020, let's be a healthy nation if we can. Okay? Okay. Or a healthy world, I should say. But anyway, so that's the end of that. So what I would like to do now, I'm just going to remind you again, if you want to write me and ask me questions, or if you want to tell me something you'd like to have on the show, you can do that through my email. And that is the name of the show, which is you email to Jointly Speaking Podcast at gmail.com. I'll say that one more time. Jointly Speaking Podcast at gmail.com. Okay? Okay. And just in case jointly is Jointly. Okay? Jointly Speaking. Okay? Okay. Podcast. All righty. Okay. I think I've done enough lecturing on that for a little bit for today. So I think it's time now. Usually when I get close to the end of the show, in some cases, I like to start doing exercises. Now, I know it's the first of a new year and everybody's excited. Everybody's out celebrating. But please, use caution. Keep your head on, okay? Don't make mistakes, because I know people will still probably be out celebrating this weekend, and that could be dangerous. And I just want you to know that I hope you will think twice before you do anything. And I don't mean just now either. Throughout the whole year, be careful. Use those senses that you have and you know. You know what's right and what's wrong. And try and follow them from now on if you can. I hope you will. And I hope everybody has a wonderful new year and stays healthy and enjoys life. Okay? All right. So what I'm going to do now, usually what I do at the end of most of my shows, I do exercises. And what I like to do is have you sit down in a chair that's a straight chair if you can, and it has arms. I don't want you to go slipping off the chair. So if you have the arms, it kind of protects you. Because I don't know what you're doing, I can't see you. So get in a chair and get comfortable. Okay? Okay. Now, what I want you to do first is I want you to close your eyes and your mouth. And I want you to inhale through your nose. Fill up your lungs as much as you can. Okay? And when you're comfortable with filling it up, then let it out through your mouth slowly. I don't want to hear shh. I want it to be very, very slowly. Let that air out. In most cases, if you do it correctly, it'll take you longer to exhale than it did to inhale. Don't ask me why, but I find it works that way for me. So let's try it. Inhale through the nose with your mouth closed. And slowly purse your lips and let the air out. And relax. Let's try it one more time. In through the nose. And out through your mouth, slowly. Okay. We'll do it one more time. In through the nose. And exit when you're ready. There you go. Now you should be very relaxed. Okay? And I'll also tell you, doing this is a good way to put yourself to sleep at night. If you can't get to sleep, try doing that. I guarantee you, it works every time. Okay? Okay. So let's start with our head today. You're sitting up straight. I want you to take your head, keep it straight ahead of you, and I want you to turn it towards the right, slowly. To the right, and bring it back to the center. Okay. Go to the right. And come back to the center. Remember, everything is done in slow motion. We're not at a racetrack. I hope not. Anyway, and then go to the right one more time. And bring it back. Okay. All right. Now let's go to the left. Move your head to the left. And bring it back. Okay. Go to the left. And bring it back. One more time. To the left. And bring it back. Very good. Okay. Everybody did that good? Okay. Next, I want you to take your left arm, put it down. Make sure your arm is down beside your body. Very relaxed. And your arm is straight. And I want you to lift it up in the air, straight up, keeping the arm straight all the time. Bring it up as high as you can. And remember, slow motion. Bring it up. When you get it up there, if you'd like to hold it for a second or two, do that. And then bring it back down at the same pace that you brought it up in. No rushing. What you're doing is you're allowing those muscles and tendons to work and stretching them and supporting them. If you rush it, you don't gain anything. You gain a little bit, but you won't gain half what you gain by going slow. Okay? Okay, let's raise the arm again if you're down. Bring it up. And then lower it when you're ready. Okay. Left arm again. Raise it up as high as you can, comfortably. If you get to the point of pain, you need to stop. If your shoulder starts to hurt, stop going. Don't go any higher. That's telling you you can't, so don't do it. Just keep doing it to the point of pain, because eventually you'll probably go further. But you got to give it time. And it also tells you you haven't been exercising that arm. So you need to exercise it if you're getting pain in it, okay? So you brought it back down? Okay. How about the right arm? Let's take the right arm and raise it up. Slowly, gently. And bring it back down. Bring it up. Just do it comfortably. And then lower it. Okay, one more time. Bring the arm up. Hold it for a second or two. And then bring it back down. Very slowly. Very good. Now, next one I want you to do is you can take your left hand, your left arm rather, down by your side, and I want you to bend the elbow and bring the hand up and take your left hand and touch your right shoulder. And once you've done that, then you can release it and bring it back down. Okay? So, left shoulder. Okay, left arm. Bring it up and bend it and touch your right shoulder with the palm of your hand. And bring it back down. You don't have to hold it there. Okay? Okay? Take the left hand, bring it up, and touch your right shoulder with it. Crossing over. And bring it back down. Bring your your left hand up. Go over and touch your right shoulder. And then lower it and bring your hand down straight. What you always want to do with any exercise, you want to start at a beginning point every single time, and you want to end at that point. So in other words, complete the exercise all the way to where you started, and then you can stop it, okay? Okay, let's do the other arm. Bring it up. Bend your elbow and take your hand and touch your right hand and touch your left shoulder. Okay? And go back down. Okay, bring your right shoulder up. Okay. Right hand up to your left shoulder. I'm sorry, I said that wrong again. I apologize. Bring your right hand up, bring it over to your left shoulder, touch your left shoulder, and then lower your arm to straight position. Okay, raise your right hand up, bring it over to your left shoulder, and touch it, and then bring it back down. And you're done with that one. Okay, very good. Now the next one you're going to love. Okay, you can do this together. You can do both hands together, okay? So bend your elbows. Have your hands face down in front of you so that the palm is facing downward, okay? Okay. Now turn your hand over like you're collecting money. Ha, ha, ha. Good way to make money, okay? Okay, and bring it back down. You can do both hands together. It's not that difficult an exercise, but it keeps your wrist moving and keeps it functioning so that you can receive money, change, I don't know, lipstick, I don't know, anything, okay, a safety pin. But do that and then bring it back down. Then turn your right hand over, or both hands, I should say, both hands over, and bring them back down, face down. Okay? One more time, just for an extra nickel today. Take your hands and turn them over and upward, and then bring them back down. Okay? Very good. Okay, terrific. Okay, you've done most of the upper torso that I like to do with people, just so that you know the upper part of the body. And now let's start with our feet. I want you to put both feet flat on the floor. And all I want you to do on both feet, you can do it at the same time, is raise your toes up. Keep your heel on the floor. Heel on the floor and raise the toes up. And bring them back down. Okay? Let's do it. Go up. Keep that heel on the floor. And go down. Go up. And go down. This is really easy. Go up. And go back down. Okay? Okay, the next one you can do is take your right leg or your foot. Let's do it that way. Take your right foot and bring it out in front of you so your leg straightens. Bring it out as far as you can and straighten it. And then bring it back down. Go back out. And lower it slowly. No rushing. Bring your right foot up. And bring it back down. Okay? Okay. Left foot, the same thing. Bring your foot straight out, straighten your knee, and then bring it back down. Bring your left foot up, and then bring it back down. Make sure that leg is straight when you're doing this. Okay? Okay, bring your leg out. And back down. Okay, very good. Okay, now there's one exercise I'd like to do with you, but unfortunately I'm not able to do it with you because it really requires you laying flat, like on a bed or something, and I don't want to do that with you because we can't. It would very difficult. So what I want you to do, I want you to sit in your chair and relax, and I want you to pinch your buttocks together. Pull your buttocks together. Okay? Let's try it. Pinch. And then release. Pinch your butt. And release. Pinch your butt. And release. Okay? One more time for good measure. Pinch. And release. Okay. Now there's one more you can do. Sit in your chair straight. Put your feet in front of you. And push your knees together. Push your legs. How can I say this? When you're sitting, put your two knees together. Push them together. Like you're trying to go across, but you're not crossing your legs. Just side by side, just push them together, okay? And if you do it correctly, you'll feel the upper part of your thigh muscle, okay? And that's working it. So push the knee, and you can feel it from your knee to your hip. Okay? Okay, let's try it. 1, and release. 2, push, and release. And 3, push, and release. Okay, you did it. Very good, very good. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you, but I also just want you to remember your children, helping them exercise, doing it with them, making it a fun project. And remember, you need to exercise too, even if you're healthy. Even if you're healthy, do it, because that's what's going to keep you healthy. It's going to help keep you moving and keeping you strong. I can't stress that enough. And like I said, if you want to email me, you can at my website, my email, and that is jointlyspeakingpodcast@gmail.com, okay? I'm trying to do the show monthly, and unless something changes, that's the way we're going to be doing it from now on. And I just want you aware of that. So I will be doing another show in February, and it's going to vary from time to time as to who we have and what we'll be talking about. But I like talking about exercising. I like talking about your joints. I like talking about making arrangements in your home to make your home more suitable for you, making it more easy for you to get around in. And that's the key. It's got to be more accommodating to you in your home. After all, it's your home, so you should be comfortable. And I'll take you through the different rooms, the kitchen, the bathroom, the living room, whatever. And we'll be talking about that as well. So I hope you enjoyed the program today. This was my first time really getting into Jointly Speaking. But I'm also going to be doing some other shows, having an audience there. And I think that was, the people that did the December show were ecstatic, I've been told. They absolutely loved doing it at Whitney Place because they got to speak to family they wouldn't see. But what was neat about it, the family members who heard them talk on the show said they could hear their voice and they knew they were okay. And that's what was important. So it worked both ways. So it was really great. So I just want to say thank you to everybody again. I want to wish you a really happy new year, and I hope all goes well. And until next time, take care. Thank you.